Well, hello my friends, and welcome back to a new video, or should I say yet another video on my 903 Valmet tractor. So why are we back on this? Well, it has a problem, a major problem that stopped me in my tracks. It's hydraulic, but today it's not this kind of hydraulic. No, it's another kind of hydraulic. I was out doing some work and suddenly I lost my clutch. Something happened down there. So this is another emergency repair, because the tractor as it is now is unusable because I have no clutch. So I need my clutch back. So we are gonna have a look at that right now. We are now under the machine, and what we are looking at here, I have to feel myself because I can't really see. This is the problem child here. This is the slave cylinder for the clutch, and this is the culprit I need to take off because it has blown out. I lost my clutch in one go. So I will start with taking off this feed line. Welcome in. Back to the workshop. This is the cylinder in question. Let me just put some paper here. And this is the push rod. And what we see here are the remains of the boot that's actually supposed to seal for dirt and debris to get in to the piston here. In there is the piston. This is the bore, and it looks pretty okay, besides it being very loose. So loose that I can actually drop it out like that. That can only mean that this seal here must be pretty shot. Let's see how it looks in here. Let's try to clean this bore a little bit. And then get some light on it. If I put it like that, then we shine a little bit light down there, perhaps you can see how it looks down in the bottom area there, and that's about where the seal is sitting. I wonder if that's part of the seal imprinted in the walls, or if that's a groove. And then there is some deeper grooves. Let me just find them. Right here, right in that area. Can you see them? right there, and also right there is a vertical groove going. Now you should be able to see them right there. But I think it's solvable. I will clean this up so we actually can see what's grooves and what's dirt. So I need some brake clean. I cleaned it a bit, and I see some rust up in the top here, but that should really not be a big problem. The big problem is under where the seal hits. You can actually see a ridge like a 1.5 centimeter, almost an inch, not really an inch, but yeah, 1.5 to 2 centimeters down. You see this ridge there. That's where the seal stops. When it goes out, it stops there. That's the end position. And then you have another ridge where you also can see a black line down there, and that's the second ridge, and that's the bottom position where it stands when it's all the way to the bottom. And this piston moves up like that to that position, and then it goes back down to that position. And as you see in here, you have the upper ridge there. That's the end position for the upper position, and then you have the black line further down, and that's where the seal sits when it's in the bottom position. And between those two positions, the bore looks pretty okay, except for one spot, and that's just down there. If you can see it now on that side, a bit down, there is something not looking 100%. But other than that, it looks pretty okay. I think a little cleanup with a hone down here can actually make that bore look good again. And the black line in the bottom is actually old seal that's dissolved from the seal here and made an imprint on the wall of the bore down there. But I think I can save this one by getting a new seal and a new boot here to actually seal the around the axle here. There is almost no drag at all with this seal. It's very easy to get in there, and you see how easy it's to get. I can just tip it almost. Yeah, I can tip it. I can just drop it in like that and then tip it, and it tips out. And that's due to the seal being so bad that there is no pressure against the sidewalls at all. It just tips out like that. So it's the seal. The seal needs to be changed, and that would probably fix this leak. So I will order myself a new seal, and I will order myself the boot, and perhaps, no, this one looks pretty okay. It even looks fairly new, so There is really no problem with that. That one can stay. And yeah, a little bit of cleanup on that one, a little bit of cleanup on this one, change the seal, put the new boot on, then we should be good to go again. So, my good friends, the parts are here. And let's see if it's the correct parts and if we can actually rebuild this cylinder with them. So, what do we got in the bag? Something this is lube. This is the this is the boot that's going on the cylinder, and this is the seal. That's all that's in the bag. And this is the seal that goes on here, like that. But I believe it's actually like that. It should be going in that direction because the pressure is coming in from the behind, so it should sit like that. And this is the flat side pressing on that flat side, and the pressure comes from here pushing it out like that. And then we have, this is just the boot that goes on this edge around, sealing everything up nice. And the push rod goes through the center hole and hits out there. So that's all to it. And this is lube, probably provided because you should lube everything up when you mount it so you don't scratch anything unnecessary. Now it's finished. The piston is in The seal is in, the boot is on, this rod is on, so it's all ready to be mounted back on the machine. This was just a bag of some assembly lube, so that came handy. This kit that I have changed out here now has the number. If you're ever gonna do this, you're gonna look for the article number T5012 or T5012. Here you can see it, T5012. That's the article number of the seal and the boot. Ridiculously expensive parts for being such small parts, but it is what it is. But now it should be sealed and good to go. So I will mount this back on the machine. And then we need to fill the system again and test it out and see if we have our clutch back. That's something that would be very, very, very useful. So let's do that. In place, everything is tightened. Next step, find the bulb for the oil, fill it up, bleed the system, and then it should be working. So I'm intending to trying to bleed this one. It's moving very little there. So it needs more bleeding, or it needs bleeding. I haven't bled it at all yet. So let's see if we can get it going again. There we have it. There we have it. That's it. So there you are. The clutch is done. We have a clutch again, and I can go back to work with this machine. That's a nice thing to have, the clutch, I mean. So I'm pretty happy with that repair, and it's time to go out and do some work. thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like and comment, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.